Hey guys, am disposing of. I am removing 3 books from my TBR, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about them since I plan on getting rid of them kind of immediately, and so I won't have them to talk about at the end of the month when I do my wrap up of. We'll see how many books. So far, I've finished 1 book, and we're halfway through the month. So, yes, I am not a huge fan of unhaul videos in general. I don't know. I think I don't want to say boring, but kind of, because there's not a lot that the person can say other than they don't want to read them anymore. But I actually do have a couple of things to say about these books because I started reading all of them. So basically, it's kind of like I DNF'd these books even though I didn't get super far into them. I only technically DNF'd one, and I'll start with that one, I guess, which is The Traitor, Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. I am really, really disappointed that I did not like this book. I feel like a lot of people absolutely loved it. I don't know. So I think that the story and the idea is really, really great. And if this were turned into a movie, I would 100% watch it. But I feel like it's super, super rushed. And I'm very irritated with the main character, Beru, Cormorant, whatever. I just feel like she's like way too perfect. Like she is so smart and she gets everything and she goes to this new place and like immediately knows, you know, where like the problems are and da da da. And I don't know. Maybe I only made it like 70 pages into the book, so maybe that would have gone away. But it reminded me of a lot of the reasons why I hated The Hunger Games, where I feel like the author's creating this character that you're supposed to like jump into and that you're supposed to, feel like you're in the story like through this person because it's like this ideal, perfect person. And I just think that's like so annoying because no one's perfect. I like my characters, and I like especially my main characters to have some problems. I mean, she does have problems like in a grand scale where like, one of her fathers was kidnapped and et cetera, like bad things are happening to her, but she has no character flaws that I can see so far other than she's just so smart and brilliant and wonderful and perfect. And that really, really annoys me. It also, like, the beginning of this book flies through, her childhood. I want to say the book starts when she's, like, maybe 10-ish, I don't know. And then all of a sudden she's 18, like, a minute later, and she's the head of this thing. And it's just too unrealistic to me, which I know is, like, silly because it's, like, a fantasy, whatever. But I like there to be some realism, like, that wouldn't happen. But yeah, there are a lot of really, really great themes about colonialization and like judging others for their like sexual practices, I guess, because the land, I don't want to say the planet. For some reason, this feels like so science fiction-y to me. But like where she lives, homosexuality is like totally normal and fine and wonderful. But then this other group of people that come and colonize her land think it's completely immoral and unhygienic and disgusting, and so they're trying to get rid of it by doing things that are kind of like on the lines of, when people go to like those camps to ungay them or whatever. So it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. So I think it's super interesting and like great themes, and they talk a lot about eugenics and stuff, which is like super dark, and it just feels like it would be really good, but I can't take her. She's just too perfect, and the writing is just, like I mentioned in a previous video talking about this, it just is too flowery, too many adjectives, too many words, like just get to the point. I like nice, simple, neat. I like pretty things, but if you're trying too hard to make it pretty, it doesn't sound good to me. So anyways, yeah, I am unfortunately sending this one on its merry way. So yes, if you liked it, please talk to me in the comments. I actually really, really want to know what happened. So if you can just like give me a quick rundown of the plot, that would be nice, because I'm very curious, because everyone's talking about how the ending is like so crazy, and I tried to like read the last chapter, but there's a bunch of characters that I haven't met yet that are in it, so like I don't know what's happening. But yeah, so womp womp, unfortunately. And these next two I didn't even put as DNF or anything on my Goodreads shelves. I just removed them. The first one is garbage. Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakthrough by Ruth Pennebaker. Yeah, this has less than a 3.0 good ratings on Goodreads. Looking at it, I think I bought this when Borders was going out of business, and I was just like, everything's cheap, before I realized that like just because it's cheap doesn't mean you should take it. The writing is complete garbage. This seems like just. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like women's chick. What is it called? Chicklet. There's nothing wrong with chicklet. That's fine if you like it, but if you like it, still don't read this because this is not good. On the other hand, this one, 800 Grapes by Laura Dave, this is also chicklet, but this is actually well written. So I am removing this one from my shelf because I have zero interest in the characters or the plot or anything, but I have to say that if you are a reader of like contemporary, like romancy, chick lit type things. Sorry, I know people hate that label. I actually think you would really like this, and I think that you should read this. It's just not for me. It's not my style. It's not what I want to spend my time reading since, I'm going to die eventually, and I don't want to waste time reading books that I'm not interested in. But I do have to say, if you're of like, if you like things that are nice and fun, you should read this. It starts the main character, she like runs off. She finds some secret about her, like she's engaged and she's going to get married next week. And she finds out some secret about her fiance that like, is just heartbreaking. And so she runs off to go to her family, but it turns out like her family lives on a vineyard. That's, I assume, why it's called 800 Grapes. I got like, a good 30 pages into this and I was like skimming a little bit. And I do think this is well written. But anyways, there's like some kind of drama happening between her father and her mother, and then between her two brothers, there's some drama happening. So it seems like a good time if this is the type of book that you're into. So I would recommend this for people who like, I can't think of an example because I don't read those types of books, but you know what I'm talking about. Just, fun books. I would recommend this. Probably not as a great winter read, maybe a fall read or spring. I don't know, but this sounds like a good time and it is well written. Don't even remember this author's name. I'm sorry, Ruth. That's rude. Maybe she has other things that are good, but this is complete garbage. I only read let me just read you a little bit. This video is basically over. You can just end if you don't want to, but no, I can't even. It's just bad. Just don't. So yes, but this one, good. All right. So that is all I have to say about these 3 books that I'm removing from my shelves. Let me know if you've read Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakthrough. Talk to me about it because I'm very curious because like I don't understand that at all. Hope everyone's having a great day. Bye.